At 5:23 p.m. local time, a U.S. Air Force F-16 from the 421st Fighter Squadron was providing top cover for a U.S. naval task force moving along the coast of Yemen. The patrol had been relatively uneventful until that moment when everything changed within seconds. Unbeknownst to the F-16 pilot, a Houthi SA missile battery near Houthi had locked onto the aircraft and launched a missile. With a maximum effective range of 23 kilometers and a top speed of 2.8 times the speed of sound, the pilot had only seconds to respond. Fortunately, the F-16 is equipped with a range of electronic countermeasures that can neutralize such threats. Mounted on the aircraft's nose is the AN/APG-83 radar, its primary defense against the Houthi missile. After detecting the SA-6 at a distance of 42 kilometers, the pilot executed a steep dive from 30,000 feet to 15,000 feet to evade the missile. This maneuver is crucial because the SA-6 is a semi-active missile, requiring Houthi ground radar to illuminate the target and provide fire control data.
The missiles harmlessly passed the aircraft. However, the Houthis were far from finished. Just 44 minutes later, at 6:07 p.m. local time, a US MQ-9 Reaper drone from Chablis Airfield in Djibouti was conducting a routine reconnaissance flight about 50 miles northeast of Houthi. The drone was monitoring Houthi supply convoys as they reinforced enemy positions near the town. Frustrated by their inability to down the F-16, Houthi gunners attempted another strike. Although the Reaper is less advanced than the F-16, its Pandora missile warning system detected another SA-6 launch. Within 8 seconds, the drone activated its AN/LE-47 dispenser to deploy countermeasures while climbing above 15,000 feet, keeping all incoming missiles out of the 30 degrees blind spots directly below the aircraft's horizon. As the drone ascended, its AL countermeasure system launched 8 flares over 4 seconds, creating a 300 square meter chaff cloud to confuse the missiles. The system has limits: a maximum load of 60 MJU-60B flares and 120 ARA-180 chaff bundles, enough for 12 engagements per sortie. Once 75% of the inventory is expended, the Reaper must return to base. Operators decide when to deploy countermeasures using the ALR-69 radar warning receiver, which monitors frequencies from 0.5 to 20 GHz. This allows detection of SA-6 radar emissions at around 200 kilometers with 1 degree azimuth accuracy. With this system, operators can respond within 2 seconds, deploying enough countermeasures to avoid a direct hit. The Reaper returned to base damaged. Maintainers found several of the SA-6 12,000 steel pellets had punctured its right wing. Fortunately, it was able to fly again shortly afterward. While such missile launches may appear routine, they were anything but. This was the first time the Houthis fired at a manned aircraft in the conflict. The US response to this unprovoked attack set a new precedent in the intensifying conflict. In the immediate aftermath, US Central Command and the White House were alarmed by the bold daylight attack on US forces. President Trump determined that an immediate, overwhelming response was necessary. Within 8 hours, the guided missile destroyer USS Spruance received orders to move closer to the Yemen coast. Once in position, the crew received encrypted launch orders from Central Command. Although Tomahawk missiles are typically used, the Navy opted for a different approach. Destroyers carry a mixed load of Tomahawks, SM-2s, ESSMs, anti-submarine rockets, and SM-6 in their VLS cells, with BMD-capable ships also carrying SM-3s. This mix allows ships to engage a variety of threats offensively and defensively. The choice of the SM-6 was notable. As one of the Navy's most advanced air defense missiles, second only to the SM-3, the SM-6 is usually reserved for the most dangerous threats. It can deliver a 1,500 kilograms warhead at 3.5 times the speed of sound. While designed for air defense, the Navy has repurposed it for ground strikes in recent years.
The Navy selected the SM-6 because the target was mobile. Satellite imagery showed the SA-6 launcher and its accompanying IS-91 radar was still in Houthi, but with a top speed of around 34 miles per hour. The launcher could be hundreds of miles away by the time the strike order was issued. Time was critical. After receiving the firing order from CENTCOM, the USS Spruance crew made best speed to the launch position in the southern Red Sea. Meanwhile, combat watchstanders had less than 30 minutes to plan, route, and approve a firing solution. Missiles don't travel in straight lines. Waypoints must be pre-programmed to guide them. Once the missile reaches the first waypoint, the classified mission library takes over, sending it toward its target. At approximately 3:45 a.m. local time, 2 SM-6 missiles launched from the VLS cells. With just several hundred miles to cover, they would reach their target in roughly 6 minutes. Despite the Houthis' robust air defense network, the SM-6 South struck the SA-6 launcher without obstruction. Signals intercepts afterward confirmed the site's destruction and the elimination of 8 Houthi operators. But the US response was far from over. Between 2014 and 2015, the Houthis captured 12 to 15 SA-6 launchers from the Yemeni government. Over the past decade, Iran helped improve their radars and install modern seekers on these missiles, giving the Houthis a significant stockpile they were willing to use against US aircraft. After the February 20th strike destroyed one launcher, the Navy decided to deliver a permanent reminder of the consequences of attacking US forces. Beginning at 6:00 p.m. local time, the first of 4 waves of F-18s launched from the deck of the USS Harry S. Truman. These aircraft carried weapons far more powerful than typical strike ordnance. While a standard mission would employ 2,000 pounds, JDAMs, or bunker busters, this operation deployed a GM-154 Joint Standoff Weapons, JSOW. The AGM-154 is a long-range air-to-surface missile capable of striking 117 to 130 kilometers when launched at high altitude. It carries either 145 bomblets or 192 pounds of explosives and is GPS guided between 6:00 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. Successive waves of F-18s attacked storage bunkers near Sarana. In addition, the guided missile destroyer USS Gravely launched 6 Tomahawk missiles against remaining targets. Overall, the US destroyed 14 Kaher M2 ballistic missiles, 3 additional SA-6 launchers, and 23 other anti-ship cruise missiles. While this significantly reduced the Houthis' ability to strike air and ground targets, much of their arsenal remained, leaving further operations for another day.